But I did bring some items with me, and one of the items that I brought today is designed especially for you as a church. Hardin-Simmons University was established in 1891. We're now we've celebrated our 125th anniversary. In 1989, a couple who lived in Abilene and were members of the First Baptist Church made a significant monetary contribution to the university, and they wanted it to be for the training of ministers. And so that's how the Logsdon School of Theology came into existence. A few years later, in 1995, the Master of Divinity degree was established, and then in 2009, the Doctor of Ministry program was established, and I was invited to come and be the founding director to launch it and to help develop it and to guide it. Now, I came with the idea that I'd be there 3 to 5 years. Well, more than that number of years has now passed, and they've let me stay this long. But a part of the joy is to be a part of occasions like this and to work with people like your pastor, Jack Willoughby. It's true, he was a part of the first group. It's true that some others who are part of the first group are now graduated. But to his great relief, it is also true that there's some who are part of that group who are not yet through. And so he feels that he has set a standard for some who need yet to accomplish that. Well, I've come today to say a couple of things to you. One is a word of gratitude and appreciation and thanksgiving for your partnership, not just with your pastor, but with us in his ministry preparation and development in the Doctor of Ministry program. I said to a group last night, if you work on a master's degree in a university, you write a thesis, or if you work on a doctorate, you write a dissertation, but it's the student and the school who are partners in that process. But when we get to the Doctor of Ministry program, the program doesn't wrap up with a thesis or a dissertation. It wraps up with our students being engaged in ministry that they have identified as a point of need in their place of service, and they enlist the church or the organization, and together they do what needs to be done. And so that's why I'm here, to say thank you to you as a church for your partnership with Jack, to be sure, but also with us in his growth and development, and in the enrichment and growth and development of your ministries in this church together. And so, Rollin, if you'll come up, please. I want to hand to you, in behalf of Logsdon Seminary, and in behalf, we want you to receive in behalf of your church, this certificate. Reads, the faculty of the Logsdon School of Theology and the Board of Trustees of Hardin-Simmons University express appreciation to First Baptist Church, Kingsville, for their partnership with Hardin-Simmons University's Logsdon Seminary in the education of ministers for effective service in the mission of Christ, upon the awarding of the Doctor of Ministry degree by Logsdon Seminary to their pastor, Dr. Jack Willoughby. And then the certificate is signed by our Dean, Don Williford, by myself, Larry Baker, and by our president, Eric Bruntmeyer. And so, Rollin, we are really grateful for you and for this church, as well as your pastor.
Thank you so much.
Now, there have been some folk who've asked me, how should we now address our pastor that he's been doctored? You have been doctored? Yeah. Well, I remember a conversation that often occurred with a friend of mine who was also a seminary graduate and had a doctorate, and I would refer to him as the Right Reverend Dr. Stanley Nelson. And he would lean back and say, no, 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 it is the always right Reverend Dr. Stan Nelson. And so I told Jack that, and he said it would be okay for me to tell you that you may now address him as the always right Reverend Dr. Jack Willoughby. Now, I have in my bag another item, and Jack, and I brought it for Jack's purpose and for his use. So Jack, if you will, Jack has a gift that he wants to present.
Dear church, thank you for walking a long journey with me and making this possible. This will be the congregation's copy of the doctoral project, and we'll place it in the library. It's thick enough it could actually be used as a doorstop. But I hope that you will check it out and read at least the first section of that, which is the project itself. And then you will find names of people in their participation, names of members of our congregation and participation group, and so many others. This would not have been possible without your support, without your prayers, without your encouragement, and without your participation. So I want to say thank you, and I hope that this will be a blessing to our congregation for a long, long time. Thank you for this project, by the way. Amen. Thank you. I've asked people to join with me in praying about what's next. How does God want to use this? How do we continue to train others in the integration of those with disabilities into the life of the congregation? And I am so thankful to be a part of a congregation that has that heart and wants to see that happen. So I say thank you for making that possible. God's blessings to each one of you. Thank you, Dr. Baker. Welcome this morning. All right, well, we're going to transition. Thank you.